Hi, this is Liz.
And this is Kim.
Thanks for joining us for episode 10 of Keep Up with Liz and Kim.
Liz, can you believe it is 2024 already?
No, I cannot. 2023 flew by. It was crazy.
It went way too fast. And with all the exciting things we have going on in Ada, I feel like this year is going to fly by just as quickly. And we're going to be saying, no, it's 2025.
I know, really, though. I mean, we plan a year in advance anyway, so it already feels like we're thinking 2025,
yes,
which is crazy.
It is. All right. So we are really looking forward to sharing more interviews with all of our local business owners this year. We have a great lineup and also sharing event info and insider tips and more. Liz, what are some of the exciting things that happened in 2023 that you might like to recap real quick?
Oh, what happened in 2023 that I want to recap? Well, we did our first rides on River, which was great. That was an awesome event that we had. And even just announced this week, congratulations to Ada History Center for winning the Winter Window competition for 2023. What a beautiful window.
That window was incredible, and I love that it was a young student that did it. He was very excited about the outcome of it, and I just loved everything about it.
I did too. It was great. We purchased the gift card from Brody Bees yesterday, so that winner will be announced today.
Fantastic. And that will be shared on your social media?
It sure will.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, 2023, I would say for the Ada Business Association, we were just thrilled again with the outcomes for the community events, and Pumpkin Prowl grew. Tinsel Treats and Trolleys, as we've talked about before, was a ton of fun. We were able to add more networking opportunities for our businesses, which is really what we're all about, is connecting and collaborating. And we're looking forward to more exciting collaborations here this year. And then looking forward to 2024, we have our expo coming up on March 9th. So in future episodes, we'll be talking about that a little bit more. But we were thrilled to announce that Shelley Irwin's going to come in as our guest MC.
I saw that. That is amazing. That will be so great.
I love Shelley. She's one of my favorite people. She's so high energy. She's just an incredible connector in the West Michigan community, and we feel very fortunate to have her involved.
That's going to be great. Can't wait for the expo.
Yes. So, Liz, are you someone who makes resolutions?
You know, I'm really not, but this year I'm definitely looking more at like lifestyle. You know, just really, you keep seeing all this stuff on social media about, you know, no complaining is out, or complaining's out, and no complaining's in, and all that kind of stuff. And just really looking different, you know, just really, we've talked about this a lot, like a work-life balance and, you know, learning to say no, looking at the important things. And I think for 2023, we were growing again. The Ada Business Association, Discover Ada, we were all growing. We wanted to jump on things. We wanted to try things. And now for 2024, we're really looking at what worked, what didn't, and that's what we're saying yes to.
Yes, exactly. That's how I feel as well. I am also not a person who makes concrete resolutions. I did start using a habit tracker last year.
Oh.
And that is a great way to just kind of keep track of some things that you're doing and to make small changes that are intentional in your life. I'm not always successful. I still need to get to bed earlier. That is really, really hard for me. But like you said, as far as the ABA going forward, with all the growth last year, it was exciting. It was easy to say yes to everything. But again, we're working on our strategic plan at this time and really feeling through things and being intentional about what we say yes to and investing in those things that we feel like are going to make a difference and that we can do really well.
Most definitely. So 2024 is going to be great.
It is going to be incredible. Then we are kicking it off with a fun interview with two of our local business owners, Seth and Abigail Leali. They are the co-owners of Paradigm Fitness. Seth and Abigail opened Paradigm Fitness with the intent that exercise should be approachable at any level or age. They know that moving well and improving your health can be challenging without the right tools and a community that supports your goals.
Well, and that's definitely something that I feel like we've both talked about is moving more for 2024.
Yes, getting out, taking some walks on our lunch hours when we get a lunch hour.
Exactly. Well, we're super excited to have Seth and Abigail. Here we go. So we're going to ask the hardest question to start. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Seth. My wife and I, we own Paradigm Fitness and Paradigm Sport and Spine together.
I'm Abigail. I'm first and foremost, I guess, wife and mom.
I run Paradigm Fitness with Seth and oversee a little bit of the office side of things as well, the back end.
We're pretty much like Michiganders, like true and true. Like Abigail grew up here. I grew up here. I went to Forest Hill Central. You went to North Point?
North Point Christian.
Right, North Point. And then I went to Grand Valley before we moved to Chicago to go to grad school, and then wanted to come back here to open the business and be by family. So,
What did you guys go to school for?
I went for exercise science. I was a strength and conditioning coach before going back to be a chiropractor. And Abigail was a physical therapist assistant and worked in outpatient ortho.
Yep. And then transitioned into inpatient and then up into operations.
Yeah. We got 2 dogs, 2 kids. It's busy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 businesses.
Yeah.
Yes, that will definitely keep you busy.
Yeah. Keeps you busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're in the woods.
Especially with young children.
100%. Yeah. They take up a lot of time and energy, but we wouldn't have it any other way right now.
Yeah, they're blessed.
Yeah.
Everything we do is for them. So.
And I think that's true all along with kids, each phase of their life. It's kind of your life revolves around them, and then everything else just kind of comes together as a part of that. But how wonderful for your family that you are independent business owners. So what inspired you to open Paradigm Fitness?
Ooh, I made him. Probably the biggest thing. Yeah. No, we both have our background in health and fitness. Like that's always been a big part, I guess, of our relationship and what we've done for work. And with him going to grad school and opening Paradigm Sport and Spine, it just seemed like the next step. The Paradigm Sport and Spine had been open for about a year, and we started contemplating the idea of bringing on another avenue that we really love, which is functional fitness. Preserving the strength and conditioning and the cardiovascular component of fitness and wrapping that into something that everyone can do, no matter the stage of life you're in, whether you're high school, you're college, you are an active adult, or even our older population as well. Like everything can be tailored, and that is the beauty of it, and we think they complement each other really well.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like she said, it was the natural next step. And after practicing for a year, you just kind of see like most people need training, especially like if you've ever been to physical therapy or anything like that, and you go in and you're doing exercises and all these things and you feel better. And it's like, okay, well, that's super expensive. Like if you're going to go to PT all the time and a personal trainer is super expensive and you're missing a lot of the camaraderie of the group, which is really what most people need. It's like I need the accountability. I need friends there that make me want to go. I might need rehab or to fix this joint or some pain or ache, or maybe I'm just trying to stay moving as best as possible for as long as possible. And the best way to do that, we thought, was open the gym, basically use that as our rehab, and then do the finesse work in the office. It's like, come in, let us do an assessment, let us do this thing, and then let us show you that this should be like a lifestyle, and we can build it from there. And then make it really accessible. Instead of seeing like, oh, I got to see my ortho before I get a referral, and then I got to mess around with all these appointments. And yeah, we're just trying to build the next step. And it's hard to get into the first year when we practiced. It was hard to control all of the extra pieces.
All the
It was like,
variables.
yeah, so you're doing rehab and you're doing all this work, and then you send them off to go back to whatever they're doing, and you have no control over it. They come back and they're like, oh, well, this thing. You're like, yeah, well, I don't know what that thing is. So I have no idea who you worked with or like what was going on. And this let us have a little more control of the situation and train our own staff and really like control variables in like an uncontrollable format, kind of the vision.
So if I joined you guys, what would like my first day look like?
That depends.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends.
Okay.
So we try to get you to come in and just chat with us for like 15 or 20 minutes and get to know you a little bit. We have people come from all different walks, like post-surgical patients, pre-surgical patients, people that have like never moved in their entire life and they want to try getting into the fitness world.
People who've done Spartan races and realize
Yeah,
that
and you
they
get
can't
some, like-
overcome some of the obstacles.
Yeah, very fit people that have been in it for a long time. So it's really like goal orientation.
Okay.
And it usually it's like, I mean, you hear the same thing when people call and they're like, oh, I want to lose weight, or like my shoulder hurts, I want to fix this. But then when you sit down and actually talk to them, you get to like kind of like this, like, well, like what's your family like? Like what do you do on the weekends? Like, what do you enjoy doing? What's your actual goal? And you kind of got to weed through all the details to get to the specifics. Yeah. And then we can come up with, okay, you've never moved before, you've never seen a barbell. We need to like start from the beginning and like do a full assessment, and we can do individual sessions with you and kind of break these things down. Or it's like, hey, I've been doing this for a long time, I need a new gym home, I need a new community, and we can get you right into class and like get you meeting people and kind of off to the races.
But if, say, you're like, I want to do a class, but I've never touched a barbell before, we'll do an on-ramp. So it's your foundational classes. So that's 4 one-on-one sessions with one of our coaches, and we're going to teach you what you need to know. How to power lift, how to do an Olympic lift, how to get on a rower and assault bike, what does it look like to hang from a bar or to use a wall ball, and to move your body.
Well, so you guys kind of touched on what makes you special. You know, what sets you apart from other gyms in the way of you really focus on goals. It's individual. It's not like you're going to a class where there's 30 people and you're all doing the same thing. What else sets you guys apart?
I think it's our staff. I mean, you're seeing more gyms now that have relationships with physical therapy clinics or a chiropractic service, but I'm the only DNS clinician within this side of the state, really. The next closest one's in Kalamazoo. So the rehab that we use is really movement focused, and going after like how the joints are supposed to work, and which is fun, especially if you're in pain. We can help those things, but it's a lot of fun when you can start to turn it into, like she's saying, like hanging from the bar, or swinging on the rings, or swinging a kettlebell. These functional things that actually relate to things you do every day. I pick my kids up and I run around, and I want to hike on the weekends with my friends. So it lets us have. Myself, I'm a chiropractor, and then we have a physical therapist on staff too, and we both coach. So we're in there, we're educating the coaches, we're all working together, we're able to bounce ideas off each other, and it's not like these two separate entities where it's like, oh yeah, this happened, I'm going to refer you here. It's like, oh no, we're here. You can pop back and forth, we're in the class. If we tell you something in the office, it's like, okay, make this a part of the class. Yeah. Like, this is what we're going to work on today. And then you're getting coached the whole time. And you said, like, yeah, there's not 30 people in a class. It's not small group personal training, so we can keep it more cost effective, but we don't let them get outside of like 12 people. Okay. So then we have control of the room. Our coaches can actually get to everybody and get to know you. And it's not like you know everybody. You know, everyone that walks through the door. If you don't show up, like, you're getting some text messages for sure.
Yeah.
Accountability.
The other people in the class, for sure. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're seeing a lot of success with that. I think when it becomes a lifestyle, like you said, and people just feel better, like you figure out why your hip is always aching, and other things that you've tried haven't worked, and maybe you've gone to physical therapy or acupuncture and tried all these different things, but there's other things that are playing into that. I'm sure that your clients and your members just feel so liberated when they actually just feel better and feel healthy to live their lives at a higher level.
Yeah, absolutely. And you learn things you thought you couldn't do.
Yeah, right.
So we get a ton of people. I mean, our age range is like, what, 8? Well, we have a high school group, and we see some like younger kids that do some classes too. But I'd say, 20 to 70 something.
Yeah.
And we get you on the rings and make you swing around, and people are like, oh, I can never do that. And you're like, oh, yes, you can.
Yeah. Oh, no. It's
we'll show you.
I mean, I always thought I'd never be able to do a sidearm plank, and now I can hold one for a significant amount of time, and like that's huge for me.
Yeah,
like it's a big win, and it makes you just feel good. So definitely, I get what you're saying, and I think that that's incredible. We've talked a lot about the fitness. Let's talk a little bit about the business side. What would you suggest to entrepreneurs who are thinking about starting their own business, whether it's in the fitness industry or someplace else? What have you learned, and what would you suggest?
Don't give up. I think
don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up is the big one. And know that it is hard. It is really hard to start your own business, and we see all of these immediate success stories, especially with like the prevalence of social media today. But knowing that's the 1% of the 1%, and that you have to grind, and it's long hours, but you get to go to work every day. And that's what I tell Seth, I tell myself, is that we get to go somewhere that we love. We get to do what we want to do every single day, and that's amazing. So when the going gets hard, when you're starting a business, just remember that you get to go in, you get to do what you want to do. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a plan. for sure.
Have a plan, yeah.
Yeah, your plan
Your
is never good
market
enough. It's you open the doors and you're like, oh, it's going to go just like this, and then it doesn't necessarily go like that. So yeah, just keep going and take it one day at a time. And like you said, it's long hours, but there's days like we can take off like in the middle of the day, or like our kids can come and hang out at the office and they get to be around all of us all the time.
And it's funny you talk about the kids coming into the business. I grew up in a small business family, and I would have to go to my dad's work in the morning, and I would sit in his office for 2 hours before he brought me to school. But like looking back at it, those were the best memories. And in the moment, you're like, oh my word, I have to go to work with dad again. But looking back, you learn so much, and your kids learn about small business and work ethic and all that kind of stuff. So it's great.
Yeah. It's awesome.
And we're a super large motor facility, so it's like they're crazy. They come in and they're swinging on ropes and like getting everything out. So
Perfect in Michigan winters.
yeah, enough space. They get their rollerblades out and rollerblade around. It's like it's good. It's good to be able to spend time with them. And
Yeah.
yeah.
So are you guys seeing any health trends for 2024? Now that we just hit 2024, are you guys seeing any like health trends that you would jump on, that you wouldn't jump on?
I think that trends, I think that a lot of what we're going to see in 2024 has started to, we saw at the middle of 2023, like biohacking started to become a really big thing, right? Yeah. I think Seth can probably expound on that a little bit better than I can, but that is, for me, that's the big one for 2024, is that people taking a lot more control of their health.
Yeah, I think that's the last few years, especially, people have really made the mindset shift of I need to take care of my body. Like, and obviously we're getting more concierge health clinics around here, and not just here, but people are understanding it's like, okay, like the medical system that we have right now is really like triage and help you when you're in a bad place. And we're trying to say like, we can intervene much before that, right, to try to avoid all of these things that later in life are going to be a real problem. So yeah, I mean, a lot of the trends have been around for a while. I mean, you hear like fascial stretch therapy and like some of these new stretch clinics that are around, dry needling and like the rehab stuff, right? There's the functional fitness stuff, boot camps and all these things, and then there's always like the big surge in the beginning of the year. But it's been around for a long time. I think the biggest thing is that you come back to knowing that it's like there's no trick. There's no like, hey, this is like a 6-week get you in shape, or like this stretch therapy is going to fix all of these things. It's like, how are you going to actually like find what we said, like the lifestyle of like, I care about taking care of myself, and realizing that like that is actually taking care of everyone else around you.
Yeah.
So I hope that it is like the shift into that mentality of it's like, I need to take time for myself to be able to take care of everyone else around me better, right? Being sick and unhealthy is hard on everybody. It's especially hard on you. And when you're young, it's like not as big of a deal. Yeah. But when you get into some of the older populations, or like you see like 50, 60 and up, it's like you should still be able to move. It shouldn't just be this like go to my doctor once a year, get my prescription, hope that's going to take care of it. It's like I can't just do fad diets all the time. It needs to be like, how do you actually eat? How do you move? Which, have you guys like heard of Peter Attia?
I have not.
No, I haven't either.
So he's got a great book out called Outlive.
Okay.
And he kind of explains the shift in the medical community, especially from this, we call it like medicine 2.0, which we're in right now. This like sick care and like we can prolong life, but we cannot prolong good life, right? And we're saying like we should take a shift into looking at like blood work now and your fitness trends now, in your 20s and your 30s, in your 40s, and saying like, okay, yes, these are normal, but if we want to really optimize your later years, this is what we want to do. We want to start training this way. We want to start eating this way. And that way we can do both of those things. Live longer, but also with a higher
quality of life.
Yeah, higher quality of life. It's a fantastic book. Like,
Yeah.
Definitely.
We'll have to read that. Yes.
I'll probably listen to it on audiobook. As you know, that's my go-to.
Yeah. He has a great podcast.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay. We'll jump on that. Yeah.
Excellent. One of our favorite questions, what would be your perfect day in Ada? If you had a Saturday to spend with your family here in the village.
With our family. Ooh.
Yes.
Brody Bees. Start out with coffee. We already went there this morning.
Yeah. Very frequent at Brody's.
Yeah. Our kids are very large motor, so we would be down at the park, down by the Riverwalk. And then if you ask Tallulah what she would do, we would go to Vitalis.
Oh, yeah.
Our perfect day is whatever makes our kids happiest, and that would make them happiest.
Yeah, I'd say most of our Saturdays are, start at the gym. We do like a morning class, and like we like to go and spend time with everybody there. We always bring kids, so they run around, and then, lunch, go for a walk. That's a good day.
Yeah.
I grew up like right down the road from Ada Park.
Yeah.
So I walk that trail down to the crew docks and back like 2 or 3 times a week, every week, for years.
And that's what's so nice about Ada, too, is all those trails.
Yeah, the trails are great.
Yeah, it's great.
And there's more to come. So
More to come.
It's gonna be great. Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. This was awesome. It was great to learn about your guys' business, about you, about your family, and we can't wait to have you guys on next time.
Great. Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
What a great interview. I learned so much. This is just an area that I'm always interested in, health and fitness, and Seth and Abigail are so knowledgeable, and they just get it. And I think that what they're building at Paradigm is just phenomenal.
I do, too, and they're so much more than a gym.
Yes.
So much more than a gym. And it's so good to hear that because I didn't know. It's great to talk to them about being a chiropractor and having physical therapy on staff. I mean, this is a great place to, work out, chiropractic, physical therapy.
To have one place that understands what your goals are, what you're trying to achieve, and helping to oversee that and understanding is just huge.
Huge. Well, in that age gap, what did they say? Between 20 to 77. I mean, that's great. That's everybody is welcome. And they will, like you said, you come in with a goal and they will adjust to you and your goal and your age and
help you create a lifestyle.
If
you would like to learn more about Paradigm Fitness and meet Seth and Abigail, I encourage you to stop by there on this Wednesday, January 10th. The ABA is hosting our happy hour there from 4:30 to 6:30. And if you're not able to make that, do give them a call, check them out, meet with them. You're going to have an incredible experience.
So start that 2024 resolution with fitness in mind at Paradigm Fitness. All right, Cam, should we jump into the Fast Five?
Let's do it.
Okay, number 1. Later today, we are meeting with all the Ada business owners to talk 2024 events. We can't wait to share the details with you. Thanks to Michigan Software Labs for allowing us to use your space tonight. We are super excited. If you guys haven't checked out their space, you definitely need to. So, here we go. Let's tackle 2024.
Yes, and next up, one of the things we'll be talking about at that meeting is the new Ada Covered Bridge Park. It has officially been announced, and that is going to be where the current Leonard Field Park is. There are so many incredible things that are going to be happening there. A splash pad, a dog park, a veterans memorial, pickleball courts, and so much more. So keep listening and we will keep sharing updates.
Sure will. All right. There is a new shop in Ada, Michigan Woodworks Co., nestled between Union Bank and HMD Boutique Dance Studio on Headley Drive. Check it out. It is beautiful and it is the first tiny little shop in Ada, but tiny shop, big items, like big in the way of like beautiful and ones you want to take home and put, on your kitchen counter and keep it there.
Yes, incredible handcrafted woodwork pieces. Do check them out. Did you see that another Ada business has been featured in a national publication? So exciting. USA Today published an article about Plumfield Books and how owner Amy Squires pairs books with bottles of wine. I love her Instagram post when she puts a bottle of wine with a book, and I'll admit I've gone in and bought the pairings.
I mean, that's the goal, right? Yeah, I think, and she has talked about, too, why she picks the pairing and the book together. Like, why the wine, why the book? And if you want to go in and you want to buy a bottle of wine and a book, definitely ask her, Amy, and she will give you the full lowdown on why. All right, number 5, have you made your Valentine's reservations? We have wonderful restaurants here in Ada Village, and definitely get on those books because we know they're going to fill up. And, don't miss out on Valentine's Day, of course.
Now, if you want to keep up with what's happening in Ada, learn more about the businesses, and participate in our upcoming events, follow Discover Ada and the ABA on social media and subscribe to this podcast.
Thanks for listening. Now try to keep up.